So is there a room in your home that you don't use very much? Maybe you get a negative vibe or you feel like it's just not done. We're going to turn your negative into a positive with designer Kimberley Seldon now, guys. Thank you. Because there are so many of us that have a space that maybe it's just not quite there and we can't put our finger on what's happening, why we don't want to hang out in that space.
You nailed it. That's exactly what it is. And the whole conversation got started because a friend of mine got a divorce. That happens sometimes. Some people in the audience have been there.
Yeah.
Right? And I went around her house, and what I noticed were a whole bunch of pictures like the one behind me. It's a lovely painting. There's nothing wrong with it. But to me, it looks like a sad woman looking off into the distance, waiting for someone to come and rescue her or something.
Yeah.
She had like 15 of the same theme, and I'm like, all this has to go. Like, this is all bad juju for you right now. Like, all of that artwork has to go. We need some happy artwork. And then I looked under her bed. It was cluttered. There was all kinds of stuff under there. And sometimes you're so busy you don't even notice that things have accumulated or that you're just not lovingly caring for yourself. So I'm going to talk about some things over here which are negative, but I want to be very clear that nothing that you see here is a bad thing. It's just about where you are at whatever stage of life you're in and how you're going to use something. So for example, in this sort of vignette we have, this is neutral, gone so safe that it's just sad. This is just bland, like I have no personality, no one's ever gonna, I'm just gonna play it safe for the rest of my life and go beige all the time, right?
Like I'm gonna put, I'm not gonna put any sort of bit of me in my space, and it's just gonna be so safe. No one's gonna want to hang out in that room.
And then nobody will criticize, is kind of the thing, and I don't want to be judged. Well, there's all kinds of judgment here. Like in design school, we had this teacher who used to say, beige isn't a color, it's a way of life. So, right? I mean, this is just a sad example, but each item is beautiful. The chair, it's a lovely chair for a dining room. It's a beautiful shape, it's a beautiful color, but too much neutral. It's also very hard. So if this were a reading chair, this is a nice way to punish yourself.
Right.
I've worked all day. I've worked so hard all day. I'm going to come home and sit down and this horribly hard chair, right?
Yeah.
So don't do that. Look over here on the table. The table's too low. It's very important. All seat heights in the room need to be the same height. And the table should be high enough so that you can go like this with a cup of coffee, and just put it down like that, right? Instead, what we have is a lovely industrial lamp, but you're looking at a bare bulb.
Right.
And if you work in an office all day with fluorescent lighting, you don't want to come home to a bare bulb, so be nice to yourself.
100%.
Pattern is a lovely thing to have in your life. I mean, just turning the pillow around changes the feeling. And then the carpet is lovely. But if you live in a home and you have seasons where you live, rain, mud, snow, those other kinds of seasons, kids are running in and out, a white carpet is a recipe for you to be fighting with the family all the time.
Right. Why do that to yourself?
Don't do it to yourself, right?
So let's talk about a space that might bring you some joy.
Might bring you some joy. So over here, this is a totally different feeling. And I went to Turquoise Palace because the Cahuenga chair is one of my favorites. You can't sit in this chair without feeling like a kid again.
Yes.
So right away, if you have a serious job, if you have a kind of a, you're busy taking care of the family, this can bring some fun back into your life. It may not be for every room in your house. It's great in a kid's room as well, but don't underestimate it in those adult spaces as well. Great chair. This is the Fella Tassel Chandelier. Again, super fun. Why can't you have just a little bit of fun in your life? And the one thing I want to mention, when you have a partner, there's two of you, and you have a different vibe. He's contemporary, she's modern, or they're, completely different.
Traditional ones,
Rather than splitting the room half and half, she gets a few bohemian things, he gets a few modern things. Assign separate rooms. She gets the family room, he gets the office, let's say. So the styles don't have to be married.
And then you can say, get out of my room.
Exactly, separate them a little bit. So
the key to a long marriage.
Beautiful.
Get out.
Fresh plants.
This is beautiful too. You need to have some green in your space.
Live.
I tend to kill plants, so I like something like this. It's faux. It'll last forever.
Well, succulents are your best friend. If you kill every single plant, a succulent is really your best friend.
Totally. We've got some spaces that we just want to show really quickly.
Okay.
So before, take a look at this shot, and you'll see why maybe
this is really before.
Didn't love sitting in that space. Are those 2 lawn chairs?
You think that those are 2 lawn chairs? That's my first time I met the client.
Yeah.
And you'd think all those windows is a positive, but in the middle of summer, it's a real negative how hot they can be.
Yes.
And there's a big beam that's in the middle of the space. You know, sometimes if you buy a condominium off paper, you don't realize there's going to be a big column, a big post somewhere.
You don't know.
So that's not necessarily a positive thing.
So a good thing that you did was this. This is sort of during the process of making it a little bit more cozy, a little bit more positive. And then I'm going to actually go right to the final.
Right, okay.
So they can see, like, that is a
Big
joyful
difference.
space.
And the reason, thank you. The reason I love showing that is because so many people get to that middle ground where you get the sofas and the chairs and you get a coffee table and then you're like frozen.
We're done.
Or you're broke or you're panicked or something, and you really need to go all the way.
Right.
Yeah.
So save the money and then do the rest.
Exactly.
Right? Because a lot of us do go broke.
Exactly right.
Thank you for that.